Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel, Julie's World Crochet. I'm Julie. I'm so glad to have you back. I hope you're watching this. I am here to share my massive ice yarns haul. As a matter of fact, I'm going to have to do this in two parts because there's a lot of yarn. And things have changed. I also want to show you, if you know, I don't usually buy a lot of variegated yarn, a lot of self-striping yarns. And this time I actually bought quite a lot. I have some projects on my plate, things that I wanted to make up. Christmas is coming, and I am, to share it all with you, I'm going to have to break it up. And what happened was, I don't have the big packages that they came in. This isn't an absolutely fresh unboxing, though I did that. But if you saw my last video, you know that I had a massive breakdown in my computer and my storage, and I lost everything that I had been preparing on this. So we're going to do it again because I have to show you all this yarn I got. We can talk about, you know, the different brands and skeins and what I'm going to do with them, and just take a look at all these different yarns that I got from Ice Yarns. I am a huge fan of Ice Yarns. It's one of my favorite places to buy yarns. This is a distributor, I think the largest distributor in the world, I think. Like, I have not yet found any place that has more yarn, more variety of yarns. And for me, if I'm shopping carefully, the prices are better than anything I'm buying here in Canada from the stores here. Now, that doesn't mean you can't buy here or wherever you're at, but when I want to buy quite a lot of yarn, or I want a really big variety in an order, Ice Yarns is a place I'm going to. So the other negative, of course, is I don't get to look at the yarns and hold them in my hands until I get them. So that's one of the advantages of unboxing right now. Besides the fact that it's just fun to look at yarn, to hold it and everything else. It's also, I want to share this because that's what I do when I'm buying a yarn. I look to see if anyone else has reviewed it so I can get an idea of what this yarn looks like, feels like, works like. And that's the other thing I want to share. So I'm here to talk about all of that. I'm going to do this in two parts. So this first part is going to be like the bulk of the yarn, I guess, that I had bought. And then part two is going to be focused on a set of the variegated yarns that I had bought, because then I can talk about the choices I've made and how it's shifted things around and the projects I'm working on with it. Because again, I already got these yarns like a couple weeks ago, opened them, and have been making some content with them that I hadn't released. But they're all gone now, so you just have to take my word that that happened. But in the meantime, we're going to talk about what we have. Now, when you buy from Ice Yarns, it's slightly different than, like, say, when I buy from like Hirschner's or somewhere online, anywhere in North America. I'm Canadian. We have a North American Free Trade Agreement that's been renamed by Trump or whatever. Doesn't matter. It's under the same thing. The point is that textiles, yarns, and everything between countries, there's an import. There's always import taxes and tariffs. And when you have a trade agreement, what that does is it sets that up already so you don't have to pay at each one and each step of that. So if I order something from the US or Mexico, we've already established that that is going to be fine, and we're not paying import duties for that. But when you order from another country that your country does not have that agreement with, you will usually pay an import tax. And that is true buying from Turkey if you're in Canada. And Ice Yarns is in Turkey. Turkey is a major textile manufacturer. Huge, massive amount of yarns. A lot of companies that we have now branded like Bernat and Karen and Loops and Threads and Lion Brand, a lot of them are having their yarns manufactured, for instance, in Turkey, and then bringing them in and branding them and labeling them and doing all of that to distribute in North America. So Ice Yarns just has this huge, massive, they're all like Ice Yarns brand. You're not getting other brands, but those really are the yarns that are there. You'll see what I mean when we go through. The key point is when you buy from Ice Yarns that it's a little tricky to navigate their website sometimes. It takes a little practice. But the big point is that the yarn is really cheap, like $1 a skein, really cheap. But they don't wrap shipping prices into the yarn cost. So your shipping is massively high. And as a rule of thumb, it's usually 1-to-1. Now, it's not worth it to just buy a couple of skeins from Ice Yarns, which is one of the reasons this is such a big haul order. I've been kind of stocking up my wish list, waiting until I had lots of yarn that I wanted so I could buy all in one fell swoop. And that is because of the shipping costs. If I just buy a couple of yarns, my shipping costs are actually more than the cost of my yarn. It doesn't become cost effective for me until I spend usually $60 to $100 is when I'm starting to get that balancing out. In general, my shipping is about the same price as my yarn at that point. And then I can keep going, and it works out that when I incorporate the cost of the yarn, the cost of the shipping, and import tax, which customs will charge me once it's already shipped. So you don't pay that on the site. Once it's already shipped, and when it arrives in Canada, Canada Customs will contact you or the delivery, actually FedEx will contact you, and you will need to pay that import duty for your yarn. It's one of the reasons why I don't mind that Ice Yarns shipping is so much more expensive than their yarn costs, because they do that because just the cost of the yarn. You only pay your import duty on the cost of the yarn. So the yarn is dirt cheap. My shipping is just my shipping. In the end, generally, depending on what I'm buying, that when I'm buying from Ice Yarns, if I shop carefully, and I'm quite a penny pitcher, and that generally it'll be anywhere between $2 and $2.50 per skein, which I'm really happy with because I get very good quality yarns for a price that is really reasonable and accessible for me. So let me show you what I got. First off, here in Canada, if you are older, my age group, if you're especially like Gen X and maybe millennials too, less so if you're getting younger, but you'll have to take my word on this. We all grew up and we are all familiar with the Hudson Bay blanket. If you're not Canadian and you've never heard of this, there is a company called Hudson's Bay. It's really, really old. It started off like a fur trading company in the 1600s long before Canada was ever Canada. And became like a Macy's, a really big department company store. It was quite a big thing. But in growing up, one of the things that they manufactured and sold was called a Hudson's Bay blanket, which is a really nice wool blanket. It had the Hudson's Bay logo colors on it. So it is a white, slightly off-white background with the 4 stripes of colors, the green, yellow, blue, and red were the 4 colors that went with the Hudson's Bay. And that was a blanket we had. We all grew up with it. That's a picture. That's what it looks like. We all grew up with it. We all know what it was. If your house didn't have one, your grandmother's house definitely had one, or your auntie or your friend's house. We've all been under them. That's absolutely, we just grew up with it. It's a big piece of nostalgia for me. And I don't like having a lot of stuff that I don't use. Like, I don't like to have things for the sake of having them. Very often, I want it to be things that I use. Now, I only want a couple of blankets in my house. I'm kind of heat intolerant. I don't use them very often. So I've been carefully choosing what I want to keep and like use in my house and have a blanket, or a throw available in rooms and beds and stuff. I actually have yarn for another one I'm going to show you too, but one of the things I knew I wanted to do with the crochet work was to make a Hudson's Bay blanket, and not a throw, a bigger blanket. So I needed to get, as you know, a lot more yarn to make that happen. And I needed to, I wanted it to be soft enough and comfortable enough that it was going to make a really cozy blanket. It had to be cost effective because I need a lot more yarn. I'm not paying $10 a ball for anything like that, even $5 a ball. By the time I'm making it really big and I need like a couple thousand, obviously several thousand yards of yarn, at $5 a ball, 20 balls is already $100, and then it keeps adding up. So I wanted to be careful of kind of like where I bought. And additionally, it had to have the right colors. And that's another reason why I wanted to buy it online, because if I have a Walmart, I have a Michael's, but I'm not getting within the same brand. I wanted them to all be the same brand. I didn't want to have different yarn types that I'm trying to put together to make this blanket. So I needed to find one that produced the right colors and shades. In this case, it had to be right. I've seen other people have made, I'm not the first one to do a crochet Hudson's Bay blanket, but I've seen other people who have, yes, it is red and green and blue and yellow, but the wrong shades. You know what I mean? Like, so it does the job. I can recognize what it is, but it's not as right as I want it to be. I really wanted to try and match these shades. So here's what I got. I want to show you, I'm going to show you the number. If you have never been to Ice Yarns, you can go to their website, iceyarns.com, and if you put the stock number here, this 5-digit number, into the search window, you will come up with exactly this yarn, including this colorway. And you'll get exactly your yarn, and then underneath you'll see if there are other colors from this particular way. You'll see all of those listed below it. So all you need is that number, and that'll get you to exactly where we're going. This is called Gonca. I'm going to pull this out here. So this is it's not white. This is a slightly off-white. Oh, look, I've gotten it dirty. This is a slightly off-white. Look at that. It's really, really nice. Really, actually, it's really soft. I'm really happy with this. I hadn't looked at this since I got it yet. I put it aside once I opened it, but it's really nice. Like, this is great for a blanket. This is a DK weight, not a worsted, but it's not overly thin. And I'm also going to be happy with that. So when I make my blanket, I'm going to be doing a denser stitch just because it is a DK weight. I want it to be a little bit cozy. That's why I was okay buying more of it. Gonca is, here's the name, Gonca. I hope I'm saying that right. I don't know how to say Gonca. I don't know. This is 100% acrylic. It's 100 grams skein, and it's 300 meters, so 325 or so yards per skein. It's a light 3-weight, like we said, and it recommends a 4mm needle. So, you know, I probably use a 5 or 4.5 maybe, depending on what what stitch I choose. This feels really, really good though. You know, I forgot about this. This is something I would recommend. You know, if I remember, one of the reasons, this is a regular yarn that they carry and continue to make more of. So they have, Ice Yarns has several yarns, like kind of their standard. Another one is called Favorite. I'm making a different blanket out with a Favorite that is a worsted weight yarn and not quite as soft as this. So I actually think I might like this better. And I got this because it had the right color set for what I was doing. I really like this. And this comes at, there's 4 in a pack, and you should know when you order from Ice Yarns, they'll give you the price per skein, but you always have to order it in a set. Sometimes it's as few as 2, depending on the thing, especially like cakes might come in a pack of 2, but quite often they'll come in packs of 4. So these are $1.25 a skein. So this package is $5 for the 4 of them. I'm totally thrilled with that. I ordered 3 packs of these. And remember, they're 300 yards, well, a little more than, but at least 300 yards a piece. So each one of these packs gives me 1,200 yards of yarn. I actually ordered 3 of these, so that's 3,600 yards of just the white. And then I needed the 4 colors, so I just want you to see what I got going on here. So here's my red. The red might not be red enough. I mean, I was a little bit worried because it's not a bright red. It's like very red, but not primary color red is what I'm looking for from this. I mean, it's no different. It feels lovely. I was worried that it wasn't quite red enough, but, you know, I think when it's put together, it'll kind of stand out. So that'll be okay. So here's the red. I wonder if it says on here. It just says dark red. So this is the dark red I chose. The gold was another important one. This is just yellow, but there was a much, there was a much kind of lighter yellow that was on the site. It's kind of like a little bit more, I know this looks primary, It's a little bit golder to my eye looking at it here. But this is the yellow that goes with it. The blue, here's my blue. Unfortunately, now the blue is really dark. I don't even know, is this navy? Yeah, it's the navy. So here's the number. And here's the color. So it's the navy I had bought, because they have several shades, obviously, of several colors. And it is a dark blue that I needed. Now, this navy is pretty perfect. I know it's the navy, well, even the yellow. These are, if you ever want to do a Hudson's Bay blanket, let me tell you, this Gonca has the right colors for what it is. And this one here that I always think of as kind of teal, why is it? Why does my thing, you know, I'm going to try and change this colorway. It seems to change the colors on my thing, and I don't know. Is that better? Not really. Nope. I'm just changing through. Okay, we'll try it. I thought it, because this looks more blue than it is, and I don't know why. It is very green. I have to fix my, maybe it's my camera. I don't know what's going on here. This is an emerald green. I can't handle this. This is wrong. And why is this not working? Why is this taking the wrong color? Try this again. It still looks very blue, doesn't it? Very, very blue. Well, that looks greener. I guess we'll go with this. It still looks quite blue. I'm going to have to figure this out. This is called emerald green. I promise. Emerald green. Here we go. And it really is. It's actually, it is very teal. If it looked more blue, it would look like just a little more blue drops in it would look like this. But it actually is very, very green. In kind of that sea kind of green blue. But that is the correct green, the emerald green. And it's the color actually, and if you were to look up anywhere else, you would see emerald green. So they all kind of look the same, but to my mind, I never think of them as quite green. I think of them as leaning onto teal. And they probably do, which is why we're getting this blue tone here. But this is not blue. It's emerald green. These are the correct colors. Very closest to an actual old-fashioned, real Hudson's Bay blanket. I'm just going to put this back in the thing. And like I told you, so I bought one set of each of these. That gives me 1,200. I only have to make 2 stripes on the blanket. One set on the bottom, one set on the top. So I need... yeah, I don't think I'll have any problem. I have more than enough yarn to make the stripes I need with this packet for each of the colors, plus the 3 packets of the white. So I worked it, like I have like 7,000 yards between all of this. I needed to have the colors, so I bought these. That's one of the reasons I might even have bought 4 packets of this white, because my thinking is I definitely have enough to make the blanket that I want to make. But at the same time, I know I'm going to have some left over. And I was going to make just like a mini one, like a baby blanket or whatever else, just for nostalgia's sake, with what is left over. Because there's just something, you know, we grew up with this. There's just something that kind of strikes at the memory. So let me put this one aside. And that takes care of my Hudson's Bay blanket. And I've been waiting for months to buy this yarn. I thought I had bought another one, like out of another yarn line. I had kind of put aside that yarn there, but one of the colors, and it might have been a dark blue, one of the colors was not available. Like, get notified when it comes back in. Let me tell you, if something is get notified when it comes back in, if it is not one of the regular lines like Gonca, it's probably not coming back in. I think what happens a lot is, for instance, Lion Brand may contract to manufacture whatever yarns with a particular colorway, with this kind of twist, whatever they've made. And so then the company, like in Turkey, they manufacture it, they make all of this yarn. Lion Brand brings their yarn back, ships it back to US or Canada, wherever they're going to go. They, they label it, they distribute it and sell it, and that's their yarn. Back in the manufacturing in Turkey, where they manufactured it, they have this all set up for this manufacturing. So that I think this is what I think. I can't say I know for sure. So they may change a color or two and then do some more runs. And this is where they manufacture their Ice brand yarns. So effectively, they're very, very similar to, or just another version of, some of the other yarns that we're already getting from the brands that we're familiar with. Totally available. But in those circumstances, those yarns aren't coming back unless, like, Lion Brand comes back and has another run of their yarn line, if that makes sense. If they don't, and you know how much yarns turn over, Ice yarns and the manufacturers in Turkey aren't doing another run of the yarns they've put up. So when they're gone, they're gone. And I'll show you an example. I'm going to come across it in a minute. I don't know where, but I'm going to come across it. Oh, so here's one thing I bought when I thought was interesting. Of course, every time I shop, anywhere I shop, I'm always going to check for their like discounts, their clearance, their various kind of specials that they run, and see what's there. I don't buy it just because it's on special, but if I see something for me, then I'm happy to get it like that much cheaper for whatever reason. So I don't think Ice Yarns does mystery boxes. I actually haven't found any, but what they do have is lots of mixed lots. So you can see what you're getting. There's not an absolute guarantee of the right combo, like, you know what I mean? Like it's coming in a bag. You can see online what it is, whether it's going to be, Christmas colors, some blue, some green and red and white, all done up in a package, whether it's going to be whatever they're kind of clearing out or packaging up together. You'll kind of see, but there's not lots of choice within it. You get these or you don't, right? And one of the things I found was this. This is a mixed lot, and it's a combination of gray and black. You can see kind of a lot of gray with just this black that's in there. It's, it's a sort of thing that I think of it like sweatshirt. It looks like a sweatshirt to me. It's soft enough. You know what I mean? Like it's soft enough. It's comfortable. It's not something that I'm, can't wait to rub against my skin, but it's better than a number of others I've used. It kind of feels like a decent value acrylic. I should find out if it's acrylic or not. Yeah, 100% acrylic. 100% acrylic, and it doesn't even tell me, it's got no label. I wrote 100% acrylic myself. So this is just the mixed lot. It doesn't tell you anything except washing instructions. It should probably tell me online. I don't even have a name to tell you. Let me see. Is this the bag? This might be the bag. This is the bag it came in. See, it just says mixed lot. And there's a whole wall of mixed lots. But if you were to put in that number, if they had any more of these, you'd be able to get the exact same kind of mixed lot. I actually quite like it. I should take a look. Let me just look at my order. And I can, oh, not that order. That order doesn't have it. Let me see. Is that the one I had? Oh, here it is. Self-striping yarns mixed lot. I'm going to have to open this up and find out. There's 1,200 grams in the package, and I'm trying to remember how many. 10 were there? Is this what it is? Oh, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so 12 balls, 100 grams per ball, 100% acrylic. And it doesn't tell you any more. This is where you don't get any more details on this mixed lot. So I'm going to say that this is a 4. This is almost a bulky weight considering what I've seen from others' bulky weights. This is almost a bulky weight. but it doesn't tell me. If anything, it's a good like worsted Iran kind of weight yarn. It feels really nice and comfortable. Like I'm totally fine with this. I'm happy. I paid I think $10 for this yarn. Yeah, I paid $10 for the 12 skeins that I'm getting here. Right? So I felt like that was a good deal. It's all of a patch. Like they're all kind of the same except this one. I got this lone one in here that is not from this set, I am sure. This is, yeah, a mixed lot. You have to kind of look. Some of them are a little different, which it is, but not different enough. Like it's just mixed. So you can see here that these two, this one is slightly lighter than this one, but it's got the same black in it. So this might just be a different run slightly. It's just got a little more gray. And then this one too, it is the same. It's just, I want to say it's almost like it's from a different lot. This one here actually is different in the sense that it doesn't have these black dark marks in it. This one is without. So this is from a different run. It feels a little bit sleeker as well, like a little bit. This is a little more squishy. This is a little bit, it feels very similar. And then this one is definitely from a different color set. Similar, but different because you can see this kind of camel color in here. There's a little more of the striping than we would have seen before. I suspect these were all very similar, part of like a similar lot set, different colorways, and they all come in together. But most of these are all the same one, which is great. All exactly the same. So I can do up any number of things with them. I'm really pleased with this. I thought that was a good price to be able to get quite a number. And like I said, I was thinking of a sweatshirt. I'm really thinking of like making a hoodie or something, or experimenting with that. I haven't decided what to do with that. That's one of those examples where I just spent the money even though I didn't know what I was going to buy with it. Okay, keep going. This, oh, I'll show you that in a second. There's so many things I bought. So many things. Now, again, I always check. This is me checking the clearance again. I went in to buy a number of cakes, and that's where, and variegated yarns, and my Hudson's Bay blanket yarn, and all kinds of stuff like that. I had gone to buy it, and while I was there, I gave myself permission to buy a bunch of other yarn as well, look at the clearances, look at what's on sale. And when you buy something on sale, or when they move something to sale, it is not like, you won't see Gonca yarn. It might be a promotion, but if they're clearing something out, it won't have that brand name that they were selling it under before. They'll just call it sale. It's either sale plain or sale cakes if it's cakes, but that's it. You don't get anything else about it. And so one of them that was on clearance, actually, or on sale, and it wasn't a clearance, I should say. It's not a clearance because the name is on here, is Acoustic. So this is an Acoustic line. This is the emerald green. I think they are just getting, the last of them are going, so that they were on a really good price sale. And there's only a few colors. There's only a few colors left. But I had been interested in getting, this is that emerald green again. I'm going to open this up. This is that emerald green color again. What's it look like on here? It still looks kind of bluish. It's less blue in front of me. I don't know why that color does that. This is, I wasn't sure what it was, but what I did know is it was 50 cents a ball. And I felt like with this emerald green, I had been looking for something in that kind of color scheme. So this was perfect, and I felt like it was worth trying. And actually, it's really worth trying. I really like it for something a little bit different. It is a lightweight yarn, though. Let me just see what it says on here. It's a 50-gram ball, right? So, and 140 yards, 130 meters, 50-gram ball, and 100% oh no, 80% acrylic, 20% polyamide. So this is really, it says a lightweight 4, but look at this. So this is the yarn. It's got that kind of crinkly twist to it, so that it's going to sit really nice. I think I'll see stitches really nicely with this. It's got a very little bit of fuzz. It is nicely soft. I'd be happy with a sweater with this. It's not like, ooh, but I'd be happy if I had a top in this, hat, a scarf. I'm actually going to make kind of a very lightweight throw with it. I really like this. They were 50 cents a ball, and it comes with 8 in a pack. I bought 3 packs of these. This was, I think, $4 because there's 8 in here. So this was $4 for this much yarn. What do I have? 130 yards, I said, times 8. We're looking at almost, well, 1,000 yards of yarn, right? 1,000 yards of yarn for my $4. That feels really good. I mean, plus shipping, but still, that was really, really good. I bought this one here, and then I also bought it in black, and the black is really nice as well. When I bought it, I hadn't completely decided what to do with it. I didn't know because I just saw it, and I just thought it was cheap. I think I looked online to see, one of the things I like to do, because I'm obviously buying yarns I've never tried before. You'll see I've got a fail in here I'm going to show you like right now. So you never know exactly what you're going to get. So quite often I will go online or even go on Ravelry. On Ravelry you can pull up and you can search by yarn. So you can see what other people have done, the projects people have done with the particular yarn you're looking at. You can get a sense of how the colorway works, especially if it's self-striping, like how it's going to distribute. You can get a sense of what they're making out of it. You know, like if it feels like, you know, steel wool, you're not going to get people making any shirts or anything out of it, right? So like that, you can get a sense of how it works up, whether it's worth it. And I know I looked this one up, and I thought it looked good enough that it was worth buying. I bought 3 packs of this, and I bought 1 pack of the black. I actually think I probably should have bought 2, because I only have 1 of these. It limits what kind of patterns I'm going to do now that I've decided to make a small throw out of it. But I may not. Maybe I'll make a sweater or some other. I don't know. I haven't decided completely, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to go for that throw. But still, I really like this yarn. I'm really impressed. So this was called Acoustic. There you go. This is a black one. This is Acoustic. I really like it. It feels really good. So that's all lovely. Here's more of that. Now, here's an example of the cakes yarn I purchased. You know, this cakes yarn, well, here I can show you right here. I bought cakes yarn, and I bought quite a lot of cakes yarn. And one of the ones, if you look under, you can just look for cakes, and it'll give you all the different cakes lines that they have. Cakes saran, cakes cotton, cakes, you know, mohair, cake, like whatever. And these are all variegated, striping colored yarns, you know, which I become very interested in for specific purposes. I'm exploring it a lot more. I was kind of turned off it for a while. So one of the ways I explored it, I'm going to be doing a bunch of throws for Christmas. I'm preparing. I'm actually making really good progress for some nephews. And my niece is older, married, and has 2 young daughters. So I would like to also include a small child's throw, because one's a toddler, like, you know, for the girls as well. Now that's slightly different than the older boys. The boys have these wool blankets and a variety of other things, and it's really for them to have for their home decor and have for a lot of years. In this case, we're talking about some toddlers who I think will love their blankets, but they're going to be under some harsher conditions with young kids. You want to be able to wash them in a washing machine. If you've got wool, I can't imagine her mom, you know, constantly washing and laying them flat to dry, and the hassle that goes through that. I don't want to do that to her. And additionally, you want it to not have, well, what if they have sensitive skin, you know, like something that's comfortable, acrylic, or at least less reactive, you know. are potentially reactive. They live in another province. I'm not really sure of any particular sensitivities. It was better to not be getting them the wool content that I'm getting for my nephews. So one of the things that they had in Cakes yarn that was called Cakes Air. So this is a chain spun. Let me just give you the number. Here's one of them. These are the lilac and pink mixed ones. So this is what it looks like. This is the Cakes Air Cakes. And when I do this here, it doesn't feel that bad. Like, it feels not soft, but not like rough or anything like that. Just not particularly soft or anything. But you think it's not that terrible. And these are chain spun yarns. This is kind of a bulky weight yarn, which I kind of wanted. And chain spun, I don't know if you can see that. You can see how it is. So it's done by a chain as opposed to having strands that are twisted. These ones are a long chain together, right? And prepared like that. These are nice kind of girly colors. I have a bright pink yarn left over from something else that I was going to use as an accent for them. And then the other colorway I've chosen is this one here, also in the Cakes Air. And this one is pink shades with blue. And this really dark one is actually a navy blue, although it does look really dark. It's a navy blue and then a lighter blue and then some pinks. And I thought, you know, that's going to be fine. That's going to be really nice. I will give it a try. Here's one here. I can even take this out because I'm not impressed. Okay, first of all, if you know anything about me, you're going to learn about me that if I get yarn, I cannot resist working with it at least a little bit to see how it works up, to see what it looks like, how it feels. It helps me to make decisions and finalize what I'm going to do with the yarn. So you will find that I have, in all the yarns I buy, somewhere I have a little thing that I've worked up somehow to take a look at this yarn to see what it is. So this one is the pinks and lilac one. And I just did a quick little way. I did the just double crochet along the bottom line. I wasn't really a fan of how that was. So then I put in some, just some shells, some simple shells here. And I thought this is okay. Again, it's not really soft. It's, but it is kind of squishy. It's got good elasticity. You can see it. So it squishes really well. It's just not hugely soft. Now, it's very possible that when I wash it, that it will soften up quite a bit. That very much could be the case. This may feel a little bit rougher just because of the way it was manufactured. It doesn't mean it is rougher. It just means that the manufacturing kind of left it with some residue that needs a good wash. Possibly. I thought that was okay. And this was, I used a 7mm hook on that there. I don't even know what the hook size this is. And then I pulled out, this is a 6.5, okay. And then I pulled out the other color, this blue color, and I thought, well, I will work it up and see how much I get. Now, I only bought a couple of packs. These were on really cheap sale. They were, I think, 99 cents a cake. These are 100% acrylic, I should tell you. 50% acrylic, 50% polyamide, 150 grams, right? So 150 grams for a cake, 200 yards, and a 5 bulky weight. So I thought this would be great. I got a couple of those. I was only doing a small child's blankets. And here I've worked it up with this, like a simple blanket stitch. Which I think I actually quite like with the colorway, the way the self-striping works. I actually kind of like that compared with, say, at the bottom where I'm just getting these lines and then it's transitioning. There seems to be, you can see how much it transitions kind of really quickly, which I'm really enjoying. I kind of like that kind of messy marbled look. So that was really good. But, this is just not soft enough. In my opinion. It kind of is okay for like a duty blanket, I guess, a utility blanket if you're at the campsite, or, you know, I can find the purpose for it, but I just don't want to give these to a couple of little kids and tell them this is a snuggly blanket for them. It's kind of not. I'm not looking to get something that's like, you know, oh my, so cozy, like softest fur kind of thing. But this is too far on the other end of the spectrum. It's just not comfy the way I would like. So what I'm going to do, I put this down. I'm going to rethink it. And I think what I'm doing with these is, we have a humane society here. These were not expensive. I bought, these were $2 for a pack. So all 5, you know, how many yards did I say this was? 200 each, so 400 yards, you know, for my $2 is not bad. I am going to make a bunch of pet blankets. We have a really lovely animal rescue near here that have dogs and cats, and just like people, I think, you know, there's plenty of dogs and pets who would really value their own, a blanket of their very own, or at least something that they can snuggle up with or sleep on instead of, you know, that's more comfortable. So I think that's the thing to do with these. I'm not really, it's just not soft enough for what I want to do. So I'm not going to do that. And I can't even, oh, I should pull it out to show you. So that's the end of that. That was Cakes Air. I still think it's a fine yarn, definitely a fine price. I wouldn't pay more for it, but for $1 a skein, yeah, okay. But you need specific uses for it. So one of the other things I tried out and bought, and I'm very happy with, is this here. This is called Cakes Mars. The Cakes Mars line is the eyelash kind of yarn. This one is the white and pink. They have several different colorways. I find that most of them are like pinks and whites and blues, and you can't really get away with it. There's not a huge variety of colors that kind of falls into that, but the pink and white worked for me. This came in a pack of 4, and it was $1.25 a skein, so $5 for a skein, just like their standard, like Gonca favorites and whatever. But I really like these. Oh, I should look at the actual. I've used one already. I already used it to make a hat and a scarf for my mother for the upcoming fall. It's so soft. This is a bulky weight, 100 grams in a skein, 130 meters. This is 40% viscose, 30% wool, 30% polyamide. Yes. And it's a number 5 bulky weight. It's really lovely. Let me put this away. It is super soft. I really like it, and I've already put in my cart some more because I have some plans with what, and actually I think I'm going to use this as part of those blankets for those my great nieces, like I was talking about, because when it works up, it comes up really nice. It's a really beautiful kind of fuzz. And here's what I like. So it's super soft. It's definitely, this is the kind of cozy against your skin. You know, if you want to make a fuzzy top or something for some, this is the stuff you want to make it with. It's super nice. What I like is, now this is a bulky weight. This is the yarn. You can see here, so it's got like a good string in it. I want to say it's chain spun. I have to look here. I want to say it's chain spun and this is blown, but honestly, maybe it kind of looks like it's spun. I can't tell. Oh, maybe it is a chain. You know what I like? So it's got all these eyelash and fragments. They're very, very soft, but you know, I'm pulling along here and none of it's coming. I'm not getting any debris. So this is really well put together. It's incredibly, it feels fluffy and light and delicate, really cozy and sweet against the skin. And I like that it's not falling apart. Like even with like chenille, you know, when you pull chenille, you can pull it right apart. This is not the case. This is true yarn. I really, really like it. I'm very, very happy. And later on at another point, I'm going to get a chance to show you what I made from it, the hat I made from it. Okay, so that I really like. I'm going to buy one more packet because, like I said, I think I'm going to get different yarn for the niece's child blankets, and I'm going to use this as some striping or something so parts of their blanket have some fuzzy, because I did up that hat and that scarf for my mother, and it was so nice and it worked so well. But I will say, obviously, you are not going to see any stitches when you do this. It takes a little bit of doing the feel. I really recommend, when I was working with that, use a larger yarn hook size, like a 7, and then go for like a really basic, go for a loose kind of gauge and a simple stitch. I think I did mums, and I usually like combining stitches, but I did mums all in. I experimented with various stitches and combinations, and her scarf is just a half double crochets. You cannot see the stitches. It sits really nicely, and it's easier to work, so that you can stay on top and do it, and it comes out beautiful. I was really happy with that. So more stuff that I got. One of the other quick ones that I had just got as a clearance, let me pick this up because it was dirt cheap. See, here's an example. When they're selling stuff off, come on, sale plain. This is just a beige yarn. If you look for the sale stuff, you get like a big wall of sale, and they all sale plain, sale this, and they're different colors, but there's no other color. Like, you know, when you put this in, you'll come up with exactly this. And if there's none left, it'll tell you there's none left, sold out. And normally with the yarn, if there's any other colors of this particular brand, it'll be down all listed there. There's not going to be anything else on these ones, because they don't group them like that. They get kind of relabeled as just sale plain, and that's all you get. You don't know what it was originally a part of. Oh, look, I've done it again. Let me pull this up here. I'll pull it over this. So this yarn is fine. It is fine yarn. Here, just see, it kind of gets relabeled. Just say sale plain. It is 50 grams in a ball. There's 100 meters, 110 yards. We'll say 100 meters is fine. 100% acrylic. It's fine. It's a value acrylic. I paid 25 cents a ball out of this, though. So I don't mind that it was that cheap, you know, or 37 cents a ball, whatever. It was $2 for my 6 balls here. I'm fine with that. I really just wanted to have kind of some to try out and have some kind of basic yarn on hand. This is a case where sometimes there's something a little I want to do, and I figured just try it. If it was going to be a really good neutral color to keep that I could work with other stuff, this is like a 4-weight. It's got a nice twist on it, but it's just extra basic, you know what I mean? So, but I do have, that's one time when I do like to have a couple of yarns with some neutrals, because often I like to put those in with other projects that I'm working. Those are fun. I could deal with them. So next, here's one that, wow. So one of the other things I found, I had been looking on Ravelry. Actually, just give me one moment. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Sorry, took a moment there. I'm going to show you now, still on the ice yarns, and what happened was, okay, so first of all, I got this massive ice yarns order, but I got it in a couple of orders. So I made a big order, and then there's things that I missed or wanted or changed my mind on. There's one color I bought, and I decided that I needed another color. There's basically, and I wanted more of a particular thing. You'll see more of these. So I have subsequent orders, and that's kind of what happened here. This was on sale, and I'm pretty sure clearance out, although it still retains its name. This is Blanchard Burgundy, 78016. You can see the number there. Here's my ball with this. This is so soft. This really is so cozy and fluffy soft. I was really impressed. And I think the reason they kind of had more of these is you can see that little fleck of white there. If you look inside, you can see it's a really nice kind of a rusty burgundy color. Like it's dustier. It's not bright and vibrant. It's a really like kind of earthy burgundy color. but let me see if I can see. There's not lots of this. Oh, there is on there. There's more here. You can see how it has just this little bit of flecking through here. Not very much. And I mean, I should say, when you go to Ice Yarns, what you see in the picture is exactly what it looks like. The pictures are always really exact. So you could see this as well. So I can see why maybe some people didn't want to try it. They weren't sure about it. But anyway, they had this on clearance. This was $4. I think they were 99 cents a ball, or ultra sale, whatever you want to call it. This is it says a 4 medium, but it asks for a 5 to 6 millimeter needles. So, and this is a bulky to me. This is definitely a bulky. I don't care if they say medium. It's a bulky weight yarn. It's like a 5 bulky weight. I don't know, it says 4, but whatever. This is a 100-gram ball. It is 120 meters. Again, that's right in the bulky weight thing. That's 140 yards and 100 grams. I mean, that's right in the number 5 bulky range there. But it's 80% acrylic and 20% bamboo. And I think that's what makes it so, so soft and so nice. This is, I think, it feels really beautiful, and I was so happy with it when I got it. And when I bought it, I bought like 4 of these because I had gone and I had found a pattern that I really liked, like an overall look, for another friend. I'd been looking for something for her, and I found this. I really liked it. So now I was keeping an eye out for kind of a bulky-ish weight yarn. That's what I saw here. It was a good price. Again, trying to make a blanket, it's going to add up. So I wanted something in a good price range, and I thought it was worth trying. Now, if I didn't like it for her for that purpose, then I was going to be okay making something else with it, but it was worth a try, and it was inexpensive enough, and I think I bought 4 packs, right? It comes in 4 skeins to a pack, bulky weight yarn. Each skein here, I guess, 140 times 4 is 560. We'll say 550 in 1 pack, and I bought 4 packs, so I got like 2,000 yards. And it comes with, well, I'll tell you what the pattern was. And I loved it so much that I went, the next time I went, and I had to buy some more yarn from Ice Yarns. I told you it's not worth it for me to buy unless I've spent like $60 to $100 on yarn. And so to fill that out, I went and bought 4 more packs of this, to have, not only to make that blanket bigger, but to have to use for another project. It's so nice. I really, really love it. I don't know if they still have more right now. I think they probably do. So if, you know, but of course, once it's gone, it's going to be gone. The one good thing it'll tell you, if you look on the yarn website, you'll see how many packs, how many lots are left. So how many sets or packs are left of a particular yarn. That happened to me. I actually got the last of a yarn. There was a whole kerfluffle debacle drama that went on trying to get the last of the yarn because I was having problems with my cart on the website. In this sort of thing where, for whatever reason, it tied it up because it was in my cart, but then there was an error when I was trying to do the checkout. And when I went to, I had to go back, it emptied my cart. I had pressed the wrong thing. I had to go back and load my cart again, but because those lots were tied up in my other cart, they were still kind of in the system as used. I couldn't get those yarns. It was crazy. I was emailing them. I wanted them so badly. Anyway, I'm going to show those to you in a minute. Anyway, so here's this yarn. This is Blanchard Burgundy. It is lovely and beautiful. I loved it so much. And one of the projects that I wanted to do, the one for my friend, has a white trim around the border. The border is really big, and it's mostly white to go with the other color. And that's when I went online and I was looking for something that was comparable to that. So this is what I got. This is the Classic Wool Bulky, and they have quite a lot of colors with these. This is one of their standard yarns that they do maintain. There's the colorway for it, the code to get in. This is just a really nice bulky yarn. It is 25% wool, 75% acrylic, 100 grams in the skein, and 110 meters. And remember that this one here is 120 meters. So it's not quite the same gauge, but it's pretty close. And I'm not working them together. This is, a big part of this is the border, and it's kind of roughly and bulkier border than the rest of the blanket. So it's okay that it's not an exact match, but it is pretty close, right? 100 grams, 120 yards, 110, or 120 meters, 110 meters. So that's pretty close as far as gauge goes. The bulky one is just a little bit bigger, but it's, I think, going to work fine for the project I want to do with it. If I was trying to do something where I was doing like all of this and then a big stripe of white in it, it would become more problematic when the gauge doesn't match exactly. But for the pattern that I'm going to do, this is going to be close and really good. These are, I think, the standard prices. I think it's $1.25 a skein. That's kind of like their default for some of their basic yarns. And then, so a pack of 4 is $5. This was a really nice, I thought, really good deal. Went with this really well. So I bought those to make that project. And I am so happy. I don't know why, I just love that bulky burgundy yarn. So here's some of the other stuff I bought. Now we've got a few variegated ones. Ugh. Let me pull this out. I have bags and bags, like big bags. I bought so much yarn. And that's the other reason it's important to show you all this, because I'm not buying yarn until at least November now. I am buying in November because I already know some other yarns I want, but I'm trying to have a little bit of self-discipline on this. So I have, oh, here we go. Okay, something else I bought that I need to show you. This is, so here's an example, and this is really interesting to me. So here's an example of one of the sale yarns that I bought. Let me just show you the thing here. See, what's wrong? It just says Sail Plain Coffee. Coffee is the color that I've got. Sail Plain. You always have to look to see what this is. This Sail Plain yarn, look at this. First off, the color's gorgeous. It's wonderfully soft. But does this not look pretty exactly like my Acoustic? Isn't that wild? This is just the Sail Plain. There's actually another one that is the same. It's also called Sail Plain Coffee. It is not the same yarn. You have to kind of go just by the actual number that is on here to pull it up. They may still have more. I thought this was a great price as well. Let me actually look to see what this price was. Do I have it on here, on this one? Sail Plain. No, it is not this one. Let's see which the other. I have so many. I'm overwhelmed with how many things I bought. I bought so many, but they were just so fantastic. Oh, I already gave that away. Yeah, there's one I bought that I gave away. Oh, it wasn't even that expensive. Yeah, it was cheap. Yeah, okay. Sorry, just bear with me. I mean, I will speed this up so you don't have to listen to my whole deal here, I guess. Here we go. Sail Plain Coffee. So each pack, there's 2, 4, 6, 8 in a pack. Each pack was $2. These are 25 cents a ball. That's what I'm talking about. You know, like that's what I'm talking about. This is really nice and soft. I would make a wearable out of this. This would make, I think, a really lovely top, even a short sleeve summer top. What is it made of? Did I even say that yet? Sail Plain, 100% acrylic, 50-gram balls, 190 meters, so we'll say 200 yards in a ball. It doesn't say the weight because it is a sail. I'm going to say this is a 3-weight, just like the Acoustic, which is about right, 50 grams, 200 yards, that's about right. This is really, really nice. I really, really like it. It feels really good. It's, I think this will work up really nicely. And if you can look even, you can see here, I think I'm going to have a really nice shine and a really good look for the stitches. It's not over, it's 100% acrylic. Don't iron, but it's washable. Cold water washable, that's fine. All right. This is a really great yarn. Now, I also really love the color. And look, it goes with the acoustic. If possible, I may go with this instead of the black for that project I was telling you about. Remember when I said I think I should have bought one more black? Well, I bought two of these browns, and that might go just as well as the black with this green. This is the emerald green there. There we go. Isn't that lovely? I swear these things are basically, they match so well-ish, right? They're very, very similar. It may work out that I use this. It may not. I may just use the black the way I had intended. It's going to depend on what goes on with this, and I'll use this for something else. But this is an example of something I bought just on sale and decided it was worth it. This was $2 for the whole package. I don't have the math in my head right now. What did we say this was? 200 yards. So 1,600. This is 3,200 yards of a 3-weight yarn for $4. That's absolutely perfect. That's wonderful. I'm thrilled. I think that's fantastic. So I'm very happy. You know what? I'm going to put this one in here too. Try and move this out of the way. Here's the black. See, this is the black. All right, we're going to put all those together. And something else I bought. Some of these I didn't buy together, but now that I've got them, I'm putting them together to try out. I had been online and I was looking for I really love the puzzle yarns. What I love about the puzzle yarns, first of all, I love that marl. I love it when they take two different strands that are twisted together and you get that marl effect with the colors. 1. 2, I love that instead of self-striping, so you get these big bands of stripes of color, that the color changes happen more often and it's really just kind of a jumbled color is. I don't know how else to put it. Here we go. And I had gone on Ravelry to look up yarns. I was looking for one. I have a gift. I have a very close friend that I want to make a throw for Christmas. And I was just looking for a really colorful yarn for her. And so I looked up, they have a puzzle wool worsted is the kind of brand name they're working under at Ice Yarns with a variety of colors. I'd gone on Ravelry to look it up to see if anyone had done anything with this yarn. Some people have, which is great. I mean, it has to be around for a while before you start seeing their projects. And someone had a really simple little like cup holder project. It was really simple, but I loved the colorway. And if, again, you know me, I love orange. I love that. Look at this. I just love it. I love the way it works up. I love the brightness of the color, or at least the vibrancy, without it being primary and overly in your face. I just love how they all come together. It's kind of brighter to my eye here. And then it's got this lovely turquoise in it. And I just really love it. See, look at that. Look how, I just think it's gorgeous. I was so excited about it. So I went ahead and bought, here's the colorway. Let me just show you. There it is. There's your stock number. Puzzle wool worsted. They have lots of colors for this. This one was more expensive. I think it was $5 a ball. So $10 for the pack. I'm not exactly sure, but it sounds about right. Which I was willing to pay for 2 reasons. 1, I love this colorway. This is when I buy lots of cheap stuff, like I said, or try out sale items that I think will probably be pretty good. I am 80% of the time completely thrilled with what I bought there. But of course, you have fewer choices, less variety. And that works because when there is something I really want, of the colorway I really want, it's worth spending the money. Not that it's huge, but it's worth spending the money to get it. This is for a throw in my home. This is one of the throws that I am going to keep. When I had it, now the one thing I didn't do is I didn't buy lots and lots of this yarn. So I'm planning to combine it with another yarn. That was the plan. I'm going to try and keep my glasses away from that light so I'm not problematic. Let me see if I can go over here. I was making this. It feels so good. I'm so glad I bought it. I definitely love the color. But I'm going to combine it with something else because I did not go ahead and buy lots of these. I bought 2 packs. Now remember though, in this pack, the reason it was worth it, two sets of these for $10. Not only is the color fantastic, it's 35% wool, 65% acrylic. I love the wool. These are 200-gram skeins. So I've got 200 grams, 350 yards per ball. So 700 yards per pack. I bought 2 packs. I've only got 1,400. This says it's a number 4 medium weight yarn. Let me just pull this up here. And yeah, okay, it's a worsted. It falls a little bit more, slightly bulkier feeling than the light worsted, but I can see why they've got it. Like I can see why it's a number 4. When you kind of stretch it a bit, it kind of skinnies down quite a bit. So that's okay. It feels fantastic. A 5 to 6 millimeter needles, and they get number 4 worsted. Okay, it feels really good. I'm happy to combine it with something else. I hadn't figured out. I had an idea what I wanted, but I hadn't figured it out completely. But I love the color so much. I'm really excited to make it. So excited, in fact, that I bought something else. I had different plans. I kind of hoped that brown one that looks like Acoustic I could double up, which I could have. One of the reasons I bought 2 packs, which would work. And actually, it's thinner than I expected. So for this, I would probably have to triple it up. Also, totally fine. But I thought the brown would go really nice with it. I didn't want to put a white. I'm not, I'm messier than that anyway. I don't know that I really want a white. I'm already going to have my Hudson's Bay blanket. I think that's enough of a white blanket in my life. And I wasn't sure exactly what to combine this with, but a dark coffee color I thought actually would look really good once I had that Acoustic one. And then, when I had to buy one of my second orders, I had this one. Check out another, this is a sail cake. So it's one of the cakes yarns, and it's coffee, and just sail. That's all it says is sail now. And if they have any more, I'm going to tell you, I highly recommend it, and I'm going to show you why. So cake yarn, usually, all the cake yarns there are multicolor variants. Oh my God, it's so fun. Variegated yarn, and this is a cake yarn that's a solid color. So this is coffee, and I will look up for you how much this was, because this was a very good price. Excuse me. Again. Acoustic black. Cake yarn, coffee brown. So these were, this comes in a 2-pack. It is, it feels so lovely, like really, really nice. Much, much softer than I would. It's really, really good. And I think this is a roving style. For how it is put together. I'm pretty sure this is a roving style, but it is a bulky weight yarn to begin with. So this is 150 grams per cake, 180 meters, so we'll say 200 yards, 150 grams. That puts it right in the bulky weight, so that's really consistent. You can see that there. It's got a nice little fuzz on it. It is super, super soft. It is 50% wool, 50% acrylic. It's really, really lovely. I love this color of the coffee brown. I think it looks fantastic. Okay. I think it looks fantastic. And then I was feeling it, and it's so, so nice. I went ahead it's also, it was $1 a skein. 150-gram ball was $1. And I find that bulky weight yarn is, in my mind, more expensive. Now, I know you use less of it. You can make more of a project, but, you know, that's how it works. Basically, the amount of yarn that's covering it. But quite often, you know, like you still, I haven't worked with it enough that I tend to like to buy more and have it on hand because I can't estimate it as well. And of course, I am never following a pattern. I'm almost never following an exact pattern. So I can ballpark how much I need, but just in case. So for this, I saw that it was cakes, 50% wool. The color was good, and it was so cheap. This is $2 for this package that has the 2 cakes in it. 300 grams total for $2. So I went ahead and bought 6 of these packs. I mean, if it was going to be terrible, that's fine. I'd give it away, but it was still only going to be $12. I paid $12 for 6 packs of this beautiful yarn, and it is gorgeous yarn. I really like it. I'm really happy with it. And as part of that, let me just pull this out. Of course, I had to play with it to see what it would look like. And it turns out, I started off, I was working with this. Oh, it feels so good. It's so nice. This is well worth it. The puzzle wool worsted, I'm really happy with. If you like any of the kind of colorways in there and you like that kind of mauve look with all that multicolor, the puzzle look for the thing, this lovely wool for you. And I wanted to see kind of how I was going to work it. I did some double crochets and a swatch. I did a few other different like combinations to try out. I wasn't sure what I was going to do. And one of the patterns that I wanted to try is called, if you look it up, you'll see it's called Chunky Cloud Blanket. And basically all that is double crochets, and then you come through with a single crochet in between, so you take the whole stitch, and it ends up giving you this kind of separation, this kind of like blockish kind of look that kind of moves really well so that your accent color isn't overly present. And so I played around with it, and look at this. This is, I wanted to see what this orange was going to look like, which I really like. And then I combined it with, I started with doubling up of the other color, and then I got this in. And this is just so perfect, and it fits with this so well. And the way this pattern works, you are not counting stitches. Like, I mean, you're still doing it, but these are close enough that I am not messing up my kind of like the size of it when I'm doing it. It really matters when you're choosing a pattern how that works. Like when you're choosing what stitches you're going to do and how these yarns are combined, it can really have an impact. So this particular pattern, this way of this pattern that I'm going to do, really allows and absorbs that really, really well. So that it falls really nicely. And I think this is what I'm going to do for my blanket. Now, I experimented a little bit, so I have, I just experimented away. So I have this, and I'm going to show you, I'm going to make a tutorial because I'm doing it in a way that I'm not going to have ends. I'll have to explain it when I show you, but I'm going to put a border all around it. So I've done it in such a way that I would, instead of having a whole bunch of ends to weave in, I'm not going to have any other than the first and last ones. So I'm pleased with that. And then I tried it just to see what it looked like if I didn't have the different color in it. I mean, I don't have enough of this orange yarn anyway to do a whole blanket without the thing, but I just wanted to see what it looked like. Because actually what I was thinking, see, and here's, I was just experimenting around when I switched it over to this, where I use the dark. Could I maybe have kind of some striping? I also experimented a little bit with this connector so that I could have like an actual line through it like that, a little more distinctive instead of just this. And then here I'm just kind of experimenting if I get to the end and I make a border. I'm really just trying out a bunch of different stuff. But I was thinking I could also kind of put a more nuanced stripe in it if I have the whole blanket And then I had them with this, with the dark. Did I want the whole thing to have this dark, I don't know, connectors in it? Or did I want to have like a stripe of these and then a stripe without? And it kind of gives this subtle striping effect. I was just experimenting on all the options. And if you have thoughts, throw them in there. I am not working on this one yet. This one has to wait a couple weeks. I have other stuff with deadlines, but this one's for me. So I'm really taking the time to think about it. But with these two yarns seem to work together really well. And when I feel I'm really excited to work on this, feels so cozy. This is exactly what you want in a blanket. Not this stuff. Not this stuff that, I'm not giving this to a couple little girls. Like, this is not cozy. Oh, what a difference. This is what you want. So there's going to be plenty of cats and dogs who will think that's lovely. This is the sort of thing you want. So I am thrilled with this. This isn't for anyone else. This is for me. I'm so thrilled with these. I loved the colorways. If you want to take a look, I highly recommend it. That would make a really, really nice blanket. Although it is more pricey than kind of the basics. And you'll see, I have a whole bunch to do. Now, I told you I found that yarn because I was looking for yarn for one of my very closest friends. I wanted that same kind of puzzly, variegated, not striping so much as multicolored, not primary colors. I find that when I'm looking for something multicolored like that, it is almost always very primary colors, very targeted for children usually. I don't always get what I'm looking for when they do that, or they're much more, I want to say muted, but I'm about to show you muted colors. But you kind of know what I mean, like really darkish kind of colors. And I didn't want that. So instead, I bought this. This is Estrella. This is the green, blue, copper combo. There's the number. This is their Estrella line. There are several colorways under the Estrella. There is one that is sold out. Actually, I shouldn't say that. It's not sold out. There was one lot left when I was there. But one lot is not enough for the blanket that I want to make. I had to let it go. I took a few breaths, looked at it another minute, and let it go. Just let it go. It was tough. It was tough. In the back of my head, I could hear myself trying to convince myself that I could still buy it. I'll find a use. There's got to be a limit. I let it go. This was, I want to say, one of the more expensive yarns. It was not expensive, but it was like $2.50 a skein, I think. So that this was $10 for the whole thing. These are still really great. It's very similar to the puzzle yarn. I really liked this. Now, I thought this, and it is. I've looked online. It is true to the picture online. And when you see it online, one of the issues is that it's got a white background. So I thought this was a little bit brighter than it is. But that's my fault. That is not the website, because it's still really lovely. I still really love it. It is, just like the other one, it is super soft. This feels so nice. And the other one too, this is going to have a really lovely drape. It is really, really nice. I put my glasses down. Let me fix that. This is the Estrella here. This is 100% premium acrylic, 100 grams, 155 meters, so like 170 yards. A bulky weight. This is a 5 bulky weight. It's exactly kind of what I was looking for. And actually the colors are nice and bright. I think what it is the light neutral color that's in here, that's kind of woven in with this, is kind of a beige, light gray kind of color, which kind of damps it down a little bit, which is totally fine. I want to make sure that I still have this multicolored effect is what I'm looking for. I actually really, really love it. It looks so fantastic. It feels wonderful. Let me just show you the yarn here. It's a bulky weight yarn, and this is this marled effect, right? Let me see if I can grab a couple here. You can see, here we go. There we go. I really, really like this. I'm really, really happy. I got quite a lot of yarn. I got 2 packs of this. Let me do the math. What did we say? Well, ballpark 175, so 350 for 2, so 700. So there's 700 yards per pack. I got another pack. I got 1,400 yards, just like I did with my own puzzle yarn. And I wasn't sure what I was going to combine with it. I didn't buy anything. I knew I was going to have to work it with another yarn, but I didn't buy anything to work with it until I had it in my hands and I saw it. And I'm really glad I did it that way because, like I said, I was expecting this to be a bit brighter. And so now I'm figuring out what is it I'm going to combine it with to make what I wanted. Of course, I was playing around with my different yarns to see what worked. I tried one of the browns. You know, not sure if that's for me. And instead, I kind of came across and came back to this. This is my Blanchard yarn that I had. And I'm just going to look to see what I've done here. I have so much yarn piled up. Yeah, here we go. Make sure I have it. So, of course, I got my hands on it because I wanted to try it. I had tried a few things together. And here, I put that new yarn for my friend with that Blanchard red as the accent color. Look at that. Doesn't that look lovely? I think that's going to work really well. I could probably brighten up a little bit if I had used like a lighter yarn. It would have given a more natural background, like something like a light beige in there, like a camel, something like a light beige, I think. I probably could have. I have another one that I had tried, that Charisma that I had bought. I showed you in my last video. That has that oatmeal kind of color. It probably would have made these stand out as looking more brightly colored, but I don't need to buy more yarn. This yarn I think looks really great, and I'm intending to do a really big kind of border around it. I have lots of this burgundy yarn. That's going to work really, really great. In general, you use more. So I'm going to use the same stitch pattern, this chunky cloud pattern, blanket pattern, for my friend's blanket as well as for the one I'm making for myself. And that's going to be fine because I like how that's going to accent and bring out all these multicolors. I just love this. And so I spent, I've got 1,400 yards of this multicolor puzzle. That's 8 skeins. It was $10 for each, so $20 for my 1,400 yards of the multicolor. And I'm going to have the same thing on my burgundy, and that one cost me $8. So for $30 worth of yarn, I'm getting this blanket that I think is so gorgeous. I cannot wait to complete it and finish it for her. I'm trying to stay on track and do the ones that have a real deadline, although I'm ahead of the game, and when I get ahead of the game, I get to work on something that's just got me so excited to see how it works out. But one thing at a time. So I have those. I'm really pleased with that. That's the other yarn. Just a couple more now. Oops. Couple more yarns. I told you that there was a yarn that I just kind of fell for and wanted to work with. Oh, look at me. I completely fell for and wanted to work with. And they only had the last of the yarns. Like it kind of got trapped in computer limbo, I guess, or cart limbo, however it is, inventory. So I couldn't get the order, and I was like emailing them, and how do I get this back again? Can you make sure, like whatever. And it turns out in the course of this email communication, it cycled out and got itself back, and I saw it online that it was back in inventory. I snagged all of them. I don't even know if I'm going to need them all. I was just so desperate, and I know if I'm getting the last of them, it's unlikely that they're going to get more of this particular colorway. So I grabbed all 6 packs, and that's what I've got here. So here's what it is. Let me show you. This is from their Cakes of Blues line. So here's the thing. That's the number. Cakes Blues is one of their cakes lines. They're all called Cakes Blues. Doesn't mean they're blue. And this one particular one is the Camel Purple Blue. They're basically jewel tones. And I actually found this online looking at yarn. What it was, let me find. I brought it out here. Oh, here we go. I have one of my closest friends, the friend who was actually just visiting over about a month ago, had spent a week here and visited, and we had a lovely time. I haven't seen her in a couple of years now, so it was just really meaningful. It just, reach out to the people you love and spend time. The memories you create together, time spent together, are what carry you through. It's worth seeing the people you love. Anyway, she's just bought her a new home, and it's beautiful and lovely, and I think it's wonderful. I'm happy for her, and it's a wonderful excuse to do a project. And I haven't yet done her a really full blanket, elaborate blanket, and I was waiting to find the yarn for it. I did buy one yarn once a little while ago. It was all right. I didn't buy lots of it. I'm glad I just kind of bought it as a sampler. But it was, I decided to just wait, and I was keeping my eye out. I knew the pattern I want. In this case, I'm again going to do at least a stitch pattern. This particular stitch is like a sculptured wave. I was going to need a lot of yarn because it's textured and kind of three-dimensional. It's going to be a yarn suck. It definitely had to have blues. It kind of gives that ocean wave kind of feel, and blues are her favorite colors. She's very, enjoys all of those things. So I was waiting for the right yarn that was going to be affordable, the right color, soft enough, where I can get enough of it that it'll work. And this is what I got. I showed you that number already, I think, maybe. This is the Cakes Blues. This is the white and blue shades, or just blue shades. That's what it is. Look at those great colors, right? So we have all kinds of blues in here. It has brighter blues, darker blues, light blues. This kind of gray color here has a slight blue tint, so it's not really gray. And I've seen it, and I wanted to see how it striped up, because I'm a little leery of self-striping. I wanted to see how this was going to work. For what I wanted. It looked like it was going to be really beautiful and really fit, but I wanted to be sure. So I had gone again onto Ravelry. I looked up the yarn to take a look to see what this would look like. I do really like it. I should say it feels good. It is not super soft because it's an acrylic, but it's a nice acrylic. This is not like that fuzzy woolly feeling from the other ones that I was showing you, the puzzle yarns that have wool content. Really? Seriously. I've got piles of yarn around here. I feel like, well, that's basically my logo, is a dragon on its hoard of yarn balls. I have to work with AI. I tried making that once on AI, and they were not doing what I wanted. But we'll get there. Anyway, so this is really lovely. This is the Cakes Blues. And this particular colorway is the blues with white. It's 100% acrylic, 100 grams per skein, and 225 yards, 210 meters. A number 4 weight, 5mm needles, right? So this was really sounding really perfect for what I was looking for. Like, they designed it that way. It's really to make a bunch of blankets and bigger pieces and stuff. It's a number 4 weight. I'll just show you right here. This is really nice. This is like this is what I associate with a number 4 weight. Like pretty perfect on there. And this is twisted. And it's a twisted yarn. Okay. Like not chained. You kind of look at it and it looks like it might be chained, but it's not. It's a twisted yarn. So it's really nice. It's nicely twisted. I think this is going to work for the stitches that I'm going to be making, the pattern that I want. This was really great. I think I bought 3 at first because if I didn't use it for that, I could have used it for something else. I was buying a lot of variegated and cakes yarns for the different throws that I'm making. So again, if it wasn't going to be for what I wanted, I had other categories I could have used it in, and I got it, and it's exactly what I want for her. Is there maybe nicer yarn or better yarn I could use? Possibly, but it would have been The only one I ever found was like triple or quadruple the price. Like it's a much, much fancier yarn, and I cannot buy a queen size bed worth of that. So this, absolutely. These ones are, I think, $1.99 a ball. I think. How much are the cakes? Blues. No, wrong one. No, I have to look for the cakes blues. Give me a sec. Let's try. Cakes blues. Here we go. They were, yeah, they are $1.99 skein. So it comes in a pack of 3. So it's $6 for all 3, which is totally fine. That worked really well. It's like a decent price for what I'm getting. I really like the colors. They're nicely saturated. I think they will hold up really, really well. And you can machine wash them cool, although, of course, no heat. This was really great. I'm really happy with those colors. And in the course of checking out the yarn to see if I think I would buy a few with the idea that it would make work for me, I always check out the yarn. I'm always looking for good reviews or bad reviews. I want the truth. I saw someone else's project, and this is what interests me so much. Someone put up a project, and I've now looked at, because you can sort by colorway, I've looked at other people's work with this colorway, and if I had seen someone made a shirt with it, if I had seen the shirt, I didn't care about it. It's if I had seen first, I guess, and I probably saw it and let it pass right by. There's someone else who did a hat with it, and yet this other person did a blanket, and they did it with a shell stitch, and the way it comes out, I really loved it. And what I really like about this colorway, it's not just this colorway, with the Cakes Blues yarn. Let me just show you the colorway while we're at it. With the Cakes Blues yarn here, what I really like about it is how quickly it transitions, and it's not like defined. So here's a blanket I've done before, and this is with Karen Cloud Cakes. And that striping is really defined. It's very broad. There's a long part, that's the stripe, and then you go to the other color, and it just goes to the other color. There we are. What I really like about this blues yarn is that, I'll show you, this is the colorway up close. So this is the camel. It's got this light beige, a camel. It's got this purple and this blue. And they kind of look like jewel tones. And actually, the whole blanket that this lady did really looks like marble to me. You know how you get, like, marble has that neutral kind of whatever through it, and then you've got these wonderful colors that can come in. These have these beautiful jewel tones. And what I really liked is that this is not going for a long time before it changes out its color. And it's additionally not like just cutting off. So it kind of will change a bit, and then the old color is there for a moment and then back. So it's a little bit spottier. It's a little bit more organic feeling, I guess. I just loved it. I really, really loved it. And when I saw that, like, I was trying to get, and I knew it was the last of them, I just bought whatever they had left. So I bought 6 packets worth. Doesn't matter. I'm making myself a throw with it. I absolutely fell in love with how this colorway works up, which is so interesting, because if I had just been looking at the colorways, and it might just speak to my lack of experience, but because I don't buy it very much, when I'm looking at the colorways, I probably would have been drawn to this for the colors, but I probably wouldn't have bought it. I wouldn't have been brave enough to buy it because I wouldn't have expected to respond to the way it works up. And of course, I had to get my hands on it and see how it works up. It comes up really, really nicely. It feels really good. It's squishier rather than super soft. So it doesn't have like wool when you get that really lush kind of feeling. It is soft. It feels like a nice premium acrylic, but it does have some really good squish and kind of movement to it. So that's really good for what I want. You can see what I mean when it transitions colors right here, for instance. There's kind of like that little spot that is still the colors. Here we're coming in, we're getting to the lighter color You can see that little spot here. And when I keep going on, it's going to transition into that lighter color. So it kind of has a little bit spottier or less defined transitions. And I really liked how that looked when it got worked up. You can't really tell particularly because, of course, this is a very small little swatch. I just wanted to get a feel for how it looks, and I just loved it. I'm so happy with this. So I'm making myself my other blanket with this. It's going to be a nice, simple little throw, and with the leftovers that I have, I will be making, I will make something else out of it. Probably I will combine it with some other very plain yarns, maybe even some Gonca, depending on the shades they have, for a type of ripple blanket where this becomes an accent color. Depends how much I have left, because I really think this color scheme, this color palette, would be very enjoyable. My mother's best friend, actually, she's like an aunt to me. I think she would really like this. So this is 100 grams, 210 meters, 225. I have 3 per thing, so 650. So 650 yards per packet. That's pretty good. I have 6 of them. That means I've got close to 4,000 yards of this. I will definitely have enough for what I'm planning on doing. Very exciting with that. I'm so thrilled. Like I have so much yarn, and I was a little worried. I was feeling guilty. Like, I bought so much yarn, you better use this, Julie. Like, you can't go, hundreds, like, I can't spend this kind of money if I am not using it. And I do have some yarn that I have bought that I have not yet used. Like, I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. I bought it on the sale item, and I didn't know what it was. I kind of let it sit there, but I can't keep doing that. I have to be using it. And as it turns out, I got this, and I'm so excited about pretty much all the yarn I've bought. I am well away. The next video that we have are going to really focus on the cakes that I bought for the nephew's throws, because I've made real progress on those projects as well. So we can talk about all of that together. Okay, so this is my last bag. I had to go. I liked this caked blues for my friend. I've committed to using it for that big blanket, so I had to buy more of this so I'd have enough for the big blanket. Because I was too afraid to fully invest the first time. And then I only had a couple more things, but I will show you. A couple of orders ago, months ago, one of the yarns I ordered, I made a mess of this one, so I gotta figure it out. One of the yarns I ordered was, and I saw it on a review. Shout out to Bag a Day Crochet. She had gotten some ice yarns, and I wanted to see what she had ordered. It is a little bit picky. So the other reason why I think these are important, it's fussy trying to navigate the ice yarns website, at least to know what the good basic ones are. So like the one I just showed you here, this yarn that we have, this multicolor one, I told you I got the last 6 slots. I don't think there's going to be more, unless whoever the manufacturer was, like say this was a Lion brand yarn, kind of thing. Unless they come back to do another run, in which case ice yarns could replicate this, it's a good seller, and put it back in. But you know how often yarns, they're just discontinued and they make new ones. So once colors like this are gone, they're pretty much gone. They aren't the standard staple kind of access yarn. But something like my Gonca yarn that I had got here, these are staple yarns. They do keep those. There's Favorite, there's Gonca, Atlas. There's a few staple yarns that are always there. They may get new colors, but they maintain that yarn line, so they do restock them. And DK, Twister DK is one of them. And that's what I was looking for. She had done a review. I wanted to see what some of the basic yarns were, like if there were any that, I could also buy. And one of these was the Twister DK. And boy, do I like this yarn. So I had bought this yarn here that I'm working on a shirt for myself here. First of all, I only bought 1 packet, so I don't really have quite enough. I was going to make oops, what have I done? I was going to make, there we go. I was going to make kind of a thin top for a very tiny friend of mine, because then I would have enough yarn. I've kind of debated back and forth when summer is passing by. And I like the yarn so much that I decided, I deserve a shirt. But that takes more yarn. So I've been humming and hawing. Actually, I had a whole thing with, I dropped the yarn ball. My cat got at it. Like, it was just a pain in the butt to correct. I kind of put it down because I was frustrated at myself. And I really recognized it feels so good, but I did not have enough to do one for me. So I ordered some more. Now, that one that I had was in, this was camel colored, I think, or it might have been taupe. I think it was camel colored, but I'm looking at this right now. Okay, yeah, that one was camel colored. This one is the dark gold. It's the Twister DK. They always have, they have a variety of colors. It's one of the lines that they maintain. And it feels, I just got to show you this. This is lovely. It really is. This is really, really soft. It feels a little bit sleek. The twist on this, which is hence the name, is really, really nice. Like, it's a nice kind of tight twist, which means that when you work with it, you're going to see a really good stitch definition. It's super nice like that. I love this dark gold, and I was hoping that it would go with, and let's just see, it's going to brighten up, I guess, this brown. So I'm going to have kind of a bronze top. I'll find a way to put them together. It'll be in the browns. This is where it's just been a mess to kind of sort through. And see here, you can see this is just, look at that stitch definition, right? You can see it. And what's nice as a DK, it still hangs really nicely, even though it's, I mean, this is, I wouldn't say really dense, but fairly dense. It's not covered in holes. It looks really good. I'm really pleased with that, So I really like the Twister DK. This is one of their standard ones, so I'm pretty sure that this is a $1.25 a hank or a skein. And you get them in a pack of 4. So again, as typical, it's going to be $5 for the package. They do have lots of colors of the DK as well, this Twister DK. So these are 100% acrylic, 100 grams in a skein, 300 meters, and it is a DK weight, obviously, right in the name, a 3 weight. So 300 meters, this is a good length. You are getting 1,200 meters in your packet for your $5. You can definitely make something with that. This is a sort of thing, this would be great for children's clothes as well. It is washable. I really like this yarn. This is really, really comfortable. So if you're making a wearable like a shirt or a dress or a skirt or children's clothing or something, this is the sort of thing I would recommend. It's beautifully soft and kind of sleek. It actually feels like a little bit more sophisticated, if that counts, for as soft as it is. So that's lovely. I bought those to go together. And I think I'm on my very last one. Yes, I am. Did I buy 1 or 2 of these? I think I only bought 1 pack. Yes. Okay. This is the last one from today's shift. And I know there's been a lot, but I bought a lot of yarn. Bought so much yarn. Here is the bag. 2 to a bag. Okay. And this is an example of what I mean by how manufacturers have their yarn made in Turkey, for instance, and I'm pretty sure Ice Yarns is a company. It's like the generics, right? It's like when Heinz gets its ketchup made. Not Heinz. Well, we won't use Heinz. We'll use something else. Such and such a company makes mayo, and then Walmart, like a generic company comes in. And it's the same product. They just have their labeling as a generic product. It's along those lines for a number of things. Now, it may not be the exact same color combinations, or there may be very slight little differences in what they do. That's why they can call it their own. But ultimately, it's kind of the same balance of what it's made of. Like that yarn's already going to run. It's similar colors, whether it's mild. You're going to see what I mean here. This is, okay, so, and these are on sale. I decided to try it out just because this is called Puzzle Baby. I'm pretty sure that this is an example of that. They are down to 3 colorways left. I don't expect them to get any more. I am pretty sure that this originated, or this was started or came about from Lion Brand's Kai. This is, no, Michael's Loops and Threads. It's Loops and Threads Kai yarn. Also has this marled. It's also baby. It's a baby yarn, a puzzle yarn. It has this kind of colorway thing, and in fact, it is the same length. This is 610 meters, but it's 200 grams. If you were to buy the Loops and Threads Kai yarn, you can see it here. This is exactly what it looks like. This is just an example. I couldn't find this exact color combination, but they are very, very similar. The palette is very similar. The ones online on Ice Yarns from this set all have kind of a green, a light green, and a pale blue base to them, and there's only 3 colorways. I am quite certain that when it originally had more, they would have had other colorways that have been snapped up and are gone now, that are closer to what we see as popular with the Kai brands. But the Kai yarn only comes with 100 grams, but it's only 305 meters, exactly half of this 200-gram ball. I mean, this is why I think it's the same yarn. You can see why I think it's the same yarn source, the same yarn plan. At best, I think that Ice Yarns, or whatever that company that did it was, that they just simply changed the colors a little bit to create their own colorways with the yarn. It is lovely and soft, definitely soft. I'm going to have to fix this. I'm sorry about this light that's in my eyes. I'm going to fix this. This is really beautifully soft. This, it's not usually a color I go for, but I decided I wanted to try it. It was inexpensive enough. It was worth it. I think for this was a clearance one, wasn't it? When did I buy this one? I think I bought it early. It was one of the first orders I did that day. Yes, I did. Puzzle Baby. I bought, it comes 2 to a pack. This is green shades, yellow, and camel, and it was $3 a ball. So for $3 for my ball, so $6 for both. This is fantastic. Remember, this has 640, probably 650 yards per ball. So I have 1,300 yards of this beautiful, I should show you. This is a baby weight yarn. Well, it says 2, and this is not a 2-weight yarn. I'm sorry, it's not a 2-weight yarn. Is it? I don't know. I don't know. You know, whatever you think it is, it is. I just don't think this is a 2-weight yarn. This 3-weight, yeah, you know, I don't know. I don't think this is quite a 2-weight, but, you know, maybe it just works up that way. It is very light. It just doesn't seem thin enough to be a baby weight yarn. But it is very light. It's 100% acrylic. It doesn't say if it's washable. Probably because it was, do we have washable? Yeah, the standard washable thing. No heat, cold water. Very, very nice. I really like this. It's not really my typical colorway, but I will find a way to use it. I haven't figured out what yet, but I will find a way to use it. This is one of those ones that I just bought because I was interested in it, because the price was good. And really, for $6, I think this is great. I have friends who have grandkids and nieces and nephews, and I'm coming into that cycle of life where I have more little kids around again. So I will be able to find a use for this. All of that is good. Okay, so that's it for now. I still have a bunch of cakes ones and a bunch of blankets to go through, but that is going to be for the next video, because there's only so much, as thrilling as it is, there's only so much yarn we can watch in one go, and that was a lot of yarn. You can see what I mean. It was so fun to open as a surprise, because you kind of even forget everything you ordered. I mean, and you never know what it's going to be like. But for all the yarn I bought, I am only disappointed in 2 of them. The Air, this Air Cakes Air, that I had said. Now, if you're going to buy them to do like home macrame or like a home decor project, or like I said, a pet bed, you're not going to be disappointed. But if you want them for everything else, I wouldn't go there. I'm not okay with it. And then the other one, and I can't say I'm highly disappointed because it was awfully cheap. Um, I mean, this was awfully cheap. Was there 8? There's 6 in the thing. It was like $2. I think they're 33 cents a skein, and they were just a basic. It was worth a try. I could probably make use of them somewhere, but there's nothing special about these guys. Like, I'm not excited for them. They'll sit on my shelf, and if there's something that I want to do or use them for, then I will. But I mean, it's like getting a coffee that doesn't taste the way you want it to, or something. Like, we're trying a new flavor Slurpee or something. If I don't like it and I don't drink it, those $2 or $3 are not going to hurt me. So I'm okay with it. But all the rest of what I ordered, everything else I got off of ice, I am thrilled with. I absolutely love them. They're soft, bulky, colorful, saturated, like just really good quality. I'm so happy I was able to afford like enough of each of the yarns for the projects that I want to work. Like I said, I'm doing these really big projects right now. I'm not really doing a lot where, like you can just use a couple of skeins and you've got your hat or your scarf or your top or your this. These are all much bigger projects. I need a lot more yarn of each, and that can go wrong. That ordering yarn can go wrong, and it turns out that it works out really well for me. I am thrilled with all of them. So that's the end. That's all. If you like this, if you like being on this journey, please hit the like, please hit the subscribe. I am sorry for the disaster that had happened previously. My face is getting better now. Got a new computer. No more visitors. No more, at the time, I am not having any more medical procedures. All of the things that really just shut down the plans with this channel. And I have so much more to share with you. I have some tutorials coming up. I have so much more I want to share. I just have to redo a bunch of the content. So we're working on that. We're going to be pumping it out, and I can be showing you where I am working on each of my projects, and we can chat about these things every day. I will talk to you later. If there's anything you want to say more directly, you can also check out my Ko-fi account, and that just opens up new doors for us as well. Talk to you later. Hope you have a great week. Bye.